Hi guys, this is Señora Small again. Today we're going to be talking about boot verbs, shoe verbs. Basically, they are stem changing verbs in Spanish, and they are different kinds of stem changing verbs, but today we're going to be talking about the ones that are E to IE. Some verbs that have E to IE changes are cerrar, querer, pensar, empezar, preferir, entender. Notice the meanings, and I made sure to use the ones that you have in your vocabulary 4.1, but there are others. Again, cerrar, querer, pensar, empezar, preferir, and entender. Make sure that you memorize what they mean. How do these verbs work? Why do we call them boot verbs or shoe verbs? Do I need to wear boots to be able to use them? Okay, enough with the questions. I'm going to go ahead and explain it. I know you do not have to write this slide down. Querer. First, let's just going to, we're going to add the correct endings. These endings are the ER present tense endings that we already learned and that you should master by now, because querer is still an ER verb. The big or very important concept today. Stem changes are really a subcategory under the big umbrella of whatever ending those verbs have. In this case, querer, for example, is a subcategory of ER verbs. So that means that you still have to make the changes to the endings to match the subject. But on top of that, you're going to then have to make some changes on the stem of some of the forms. Well, we already know about AR, ER, and IR present tense verbs. Again, that if a verb ends in AR, you add O for the yo form, AS for the tú form, A for the él, ella, usted form, AMOS for the nosotros form, IS for the vosotros form, and AN for the ellos, ellas, ustedes. If a verb ends in ER, you add the following endings, and then if a verb ends in IR, you add these endings, which, by the way, remember that IR verbs in the present tense conjugate exactly like the ER verbs in the present tense, with the exception of the fact that the IMOS and the nosotros and the vosotros and nosotros form, look like daddy. So since querer ends in ER, which endings are we going to add? Of course, the ER endings. Now let's add our stem changes. You're going to change the E to IE in the stem of every verb form except the nosotros and the vosotros form. And that is why we call them boot verbs, because only the forms inside the boot are going to go through the stem change. Let's go ahead and look at some examples before I give you a visual. Querer and perder. Obviously, the only E in the stem is the one that you see in red, because the other E happens to be part of the ending. And again, that's not the stem. Remember that the stem is everything else that is not the ER, AR, or IR. Now, let's say there are two E's in the stem. Then the second one is the one that always changes. This is the visual. We have querer, we have quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, and quieren. So again, at this point, I did not put the subject pronouns. You should know those by now, but of course, the quiero is the yo form. Quieres is the tú form. Quiere is the él, ella, usted form. Quieren is the ellos, ellas, ustedes. So again, the nosotros form and the vosotros form, which is queremos and queréis, did not go through any stem change. If you look at the slide, you're going to notice that that looks like a boot. Okay, maybe not an actual boot the way you would draw it, but this is why they call them boot verbs. So it is basically a visual to help you remember what are the forms that have to go through the stem change. And that is it. Please make sure that you write any examples that you feel that are necessary. If you have any questions, make sure that you write them down so you can ask me during class, or you may post in a motto with questions. Okay, bye.